What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Yeah, anyway, All-Stars, there isn't an answer. You create your own game, so you push as high. There is no floor where you must go to this floor. I mean, you don't have to go at all. You could keep resetting and doing what you want, but you're going to have to grind experience every time. So it's completely up to you. There is no right or wrong answer for what floor you should go to. It's your experience, you make it. So, I mean, I always suggest going as high as you can before starting the resets, because the higher you go, the easier life is going to be. You know, you look at some of the real high Ancient Power folks now, I mean, they've had to go to 60 plus resets before getting to their Ascension caps. Yet, like, for me, I'm going to be there at like 40. I'm going to go to 42 for the logo, or the little icon. Anyway, everybody, I'm on floor 62, map 2 of 3. I've been having terrible luck this push. I'm still on my minimum defenses. I haven't found a single usable relic. Chris, what's up? Let me double check, though. Nah, I see I don't have a single usable relic yet. These are all my campaign stuff, which is unfortunate. For those that don't know or didn't see it, I started this month's giveaway yesterday. So exclamation giveaway in chat will give you a link to the video with all the details. Birthday was a few days ago. Well, happy birthday. Let's see, what else? Better get some love on this. I haven't done crap over on this side. What's going on there, the Hat Killer? How you doing? I'm almost to the end there, Pixia. It's getting really grindy. It definitely, that's the problem with rushing AP like I'm doing, is it's work. You know, I mean, it's straight up grind mode. They're all in my spotlight videos. They're critical. I'm doing Ancient Power resets, so I'm not using any of my good stuff. I'm not going to spend to re-upgrade that stuff every time I do a reset. So I'm using throwaway stuff. I just look for things that have one decent mod on them. Nothing specific, just anything decent. Like the PDTs. I'll show you in a second. The PDTs I went with, I got a melee boom and piercer on. They're both really low quality though. But the main thing with doing AP resets is you want to use stuff that you don't have to tinker. And it doesn't require the best stuff just to get to floor 65. Getting to floor 65 is easy. You don't even need any mods. It's just a matter of building the correct defenses versus the enemies that are there. So you don't have to really worry about fine-tuning anything to get to that point. But yeah, like I've got like this, all my poison dart towers, melee boom, and piercer servo unupgraded. So it's two crappy mods, but it's a piece I found off the player market that fit good. So that's what I'm using. Thank you very much for subscribing there, Sin. I appreciate it. Then I got this for my Sky Guards, once again unupgraded. It's got two crappy mods on it, but there are mods that work with the Sky Guard. And then I'm upgrading my weapon manufacturer item. But this is the only piece I upgrade. And most of the grinder folks aren't upgrading anything. Just so you guys know. You don't have to do that. I'm doing it just for quality of life reasons. But this is not what I would suggest using to try to push through the game. This is not a fine-tuned set of gear by any means. This is just the crap set I threw together for AP resets. You know, once you go into grind mode, like I said, it's better not to spend anything. Like I don't spend any gold. And you guys will see, even though Onslaught does not reward very much gold, I'm back over 100 million again. And if you guys remember back to what, 2 weeks ago or whatever, when I started this AP grind, I was at like 16 million or something like that I was down to. And now I'm back over 100 million again, just because I'm not spending. And although I'm not earning a lot, I'm not spending anything. So that makes for a huge difference. What's going on there, Space Chimp? How you doing today? I'm hoping. What floor was this? This is 62. I don't know. I won't make it all the way to 65 on stream today. I might. You never know. Guess it depends on what kind of luck I get on the floors. For some folks, that link won't work. It's because of how YouTube redirects. If the link doesn't work, just copy and paste. If you copy and paste the link, it will work. Let's see here. We've got a Scarnash coming this time. I'm doing good. Actually, just waking up, to be honest with you. Sunday is my sleep-in day. You guys know I don't sleep very much during the week. And Sundays, that's why I start the stream later on Sundays, is so I can sleep in a little. Chillax and kick back. Try to enjoy the Sunday. No, there's no more news yet, Pixia. Trendy's not going to release anything new until the update gets here. I mean, we know it's coming next week. We just don't know the day. I'm assuming it'll probably be Tuesday, but that's a complete guess. Got the temple coming up next. Come on, Scarnash. I got a spot for you right here. There we go. Exclamation WM there, useless, is the setup I use. Well, we've already got a pirate NPC. We're getting a coastal themed map. I mean, since there's a pirate map in DD1, and we're getting a coastal theme map in DD2 when the big update comes, I would hope that there's going to be a pirate up in there somewhere. I think I'm at 36 there, Endercal. I have to look. Let me see, where am I? Yeah, I'm at 36. So I've got 6 more AP to go, and then I'm done. Which is, figure at the worst, probably 4 days. You don't, Ancient Power is completely optional, Critical. If you're just coming back to the game, I wouldn't worry about it yet. I would just have fun and figure out all the new stuff. You're going to want to do one big Onslaught push and get up over floor 100 first, before you even worry about it, so I would just focus on that. But it's an optional thing. It's like a prestige system. Alright, off to the temple. Why not use Dryad? Why use Dryad? You should use the characters you like to play the best. There's no reason for me to use any one specific hero. I use, the monk and the EV2 are my favorites, so that's what I use. I mean, you can use whatever you want. It doesn't matter what you use. I like my EV2. She's a good girl. Man, I had good luck on mods yesterday. Hopefully I get some luck in today. This is actually my first maps. What's going on there, Zolfex? How you doing? Alright, let's see what we get. EMP stabbies. Just one EMP. I think I can get away with one Skyguard there. Hey, you know what? Or yeah, I'm just gonna go with it because I figure half of those flyers are gonna get stuck anyway. Unfortunately. Geohex Zerker Throwers with Spellbreaker. Man, if I make it all the way through this push without finding another usable relic, I'm going to be pretty bummed, but whatever. I usually I try to find a melee damage. If I find a melee damage relic, then I usually throw that on Flame Auras. Stabby Zappers. That's a 1 Skyguard for sure. But not having, just going with these 3 defenses, although the weapon man is extremely OP, it makes things a little bit more difficult. Thank you very much for subscribing there, Cal. Alright, only 4 Frost Orcs on wave 1. I'm still going to go 3 PDTs on this lane, though. I'm going to have to watch this lane. Got a little controlled burn over here. Nothing in the mid. Controlled burn's easy enough. Game over. At least I'll get some loot. This, I don't want to jinx it, but it seems like this lane is decent for him coming out and not getting stuck. What's going on there, Brooke? Frag, how you all doing? EMP Stabby Kamikazes, that will deserve 2. Since I got crap Skyguards right now. Man, all Frost lands, huh? Mages, Bullet Sponge. Bullet Sponge will be a non-issue. There's another lane I'm going to have to watch, though, because this lane could end up having... Well, that one's actually a thrower lane, so it probably won't be bad. I don't. I use the official DD2 Discord there, Zulfix. I don't really like the... I'm not a big fan of drama or toxicity, and unfortunately, Discord servers get full of that really, really quick. So I kind of stay away from. I don't want to have a bunch of work to do to run a Discord server. You know, I debated on starting another public one, but Discord is very useful. But Discord is Discord. It's, you know, it's the Reddit of direct communication. These wings come from Defender packs. They're one. So it's completely random. Alright, let's see how this goes. This was the lane I wanted to keep an eye on here, or one of them anyway. I would build the same way with a crappier version of the relic there, Joey. I mean, a full-on cyborg stun is 12 seconds. So even a crappy relic drops that down to 6 seconds. 6 seconds is nothing. I mean, it's enough for your lane to get overrun if you're not paying attention. And this isn't Chaos 8, so this stuff still gets stunned. I still get overrun by Frost, too, every now and then. Yep, I spoke too soon. I guess I did jinx it. Got a stuck ogre. If he was a little closer to the entrance, I think I could... Come on, assassin. Oh, I can still get him. That's not too bad, though. As long as they get stuck up close to the entrance, I can still hit them. There we go. Well, I mean, what I'm doing is a brute force strategy. You just, you know, depending on what you got, you'd have to adjust, you know. I mean, the game's not tough. You know what every mob does. You just build the counter for it. You know, if I didn't want to use weapon manufacturers, I'd probably go pretty heavy on Ramsters. Ramster PDTs will clear every lane. The only time you'll ever have a problem is if you have that Spellbreaker lane. You know, and then you don't have the physical damage, but one more PDT and then that problem's solved, you know? So it's not like it's the end of the world. But you got to use what you got, you know? This is floor 62, Zulfix. So I'm on Onslaught mode here. I didn't look for how many more Frosties are coming here. They get pulled. Yeah, everything gets reset. So any items you have in the shop when you do an AP reset get pulled out of your shop. Now, you don't have to pay the tax on them, which is nice. So if you put something in your shop for too much, that's a way to get it back, is do an AP reset. But yeah, it definitely, everything gets leveled down. There's no way to protect anything. The only thing with any protection is gilded shards. That's why you use the trading system and you don't move mods around or upgrade things. Like I said, it doesn't require perfect pieces just to go through an Onslaught or go through to floor 65. So if you have a medallion you like, or you find a medallion that will work, don't do anything to it. Leave it as it is and trade it to a friend and then have them trade it back to you. Is the easiest way to do it. What's going on there, Dole? Still not back yet? What'd you do, Dole? Did you have a problem with your machine or whatever? Oh, I missed. I wonder what I have hitting for 1.7 million in there. I wonder what that was. Something was hitting that guy for 1.7 million. No, I'm just going with Ancient Power resets today there, Zulfix. I'll be back to doing lots of, in fact, it will be almost all, with few exceptions, just about every stream I do, once I get this AP reset done and after next week's update, will always be public matches. Exclamation WM there, Dark. We'll get you the full rundown of what I use. I didn't even realize Killing Floor 2 had a prestige system. No point in that, is it? This is 36 there, Froggy. Well, it doesn't quite work that way, Jello, but you have to go through each tier. So you have to have a set of gear from Chaos 1, a set of gear from Chaos 2, a set of gear from Chaos 3, and so on and so on. You trade all that to your friend. Yeah, that's exactly. It's what I've been saying for weeks, months. Or not months, but ever since this trading has been a thing. And you have to go through it tier by tier. You can't insta-go back to Chaos 7. You have to go Chaos 1, Chaos 2, Chaos 3, and so on. But it doesn't require actually doing any maps. You just have to trade the gear. It looks like it. I don't want to jinx it there, Froggy, but it looks like they got it fixed up finally. I haven't had any problems this week yet. Of course, this is the end of the week for me here, but I haven't had any issues on any of the streams this week. Knock on some wood there. I don't want to jinx it all. Alright, I got one of them. That other one's a funky angle. Yeah, at the end of the summer, mid-fall, something like that, David. It'll be soon. Soonish. The next few months. Still don't have it nailed down exactly where. Yeah, you can re-roll pet abilities. stuck flyers, stuck ogres. Got them all stuck here. Ah, gotcha. No connection. Well, we're all at the mercy of our connection, you know? Yeah, grats here, Anonymous. I just want to get up a little closer to where the kid is, basically. Right now, it's what, a 9-hour drive to go visit my son. So, you know, we want to get a little closer to that area. Let's see, wrong button. So we have there. It's a lava Zerker lane, but there's no lava guardian. That's weird. I guess next wave there will be a lava guardian there for sure. Alright, looking good, looking good. The bonus XP definitely works. It just doesn't list it out for you. If you're looking for it to be listed out for you, it's not going to be there. It just adds it all into the total. But yeah, the bonus XP 100% works. Oh, I missed. Or no, I got him. Just a little delay on the death animation there. I got some really bad allergies, and right now it's a rough time of year for allergy sufferers here in the Pacific Northwest there, Dark. I'm not sick, but I definitely have some nose and throat issues due to my allergies. That's another reason that we want to move. We've been here for, what, 4 or 5 years. We've lived here where we live now, and it's time to move on. We got to live on the coast and stare at the water for a little bit. We're done with that now. Yeah, it's a non-competitive game there, Darren Dill. Don't worry about that. I got dive bombed. Doesn't matter where anybody else is at. Doesn't affect you at all, you know. Let's see. Psy-Hex Throwers. I think that will be fine. About this lava guardian lane. Wow, how weird. Still no lava guardian. Maybe it would have had one in the earlier waves if it would have rolled at that sooner. But I got a lava lane with no lava. That's very strange. Let's see what kind of boss we got. We got an ogre over here. Well, if you're a competitor, you should play a competitive game. I mean, this is like... Now, next week's update's going to change it, but right now it's pretty much a single-player game. You know, if you want to compete, play a competitive game. Don't play this. Nothing competitive about it. I mean, you could make any game competitive between your friends, but I mean, it's a lot easier to play an actual competitive game then. Oh, barely made it. Frost killed me. Need to get up on that neighbor's Wi-Fi there, doll. Tell the neighbors to hook you up. Give me that Wi-Fi password. See, just the stuck baddies there. Yeah, each shard has the same drop rate. It's just RNG hates us all there, Edward. I assure you, you are not the only one. We all have our issues with shards. Never ever do we get the one we want. But they do have an even chance to drop. Whatever one that you straight up don't need, that's the one you'll get over and over again. That's generally my experience. Sadly. What's going on there, Coolio? Now I really don't understand why you try to make it competitive, doll. You don't play with other people. I mean, how are you even competing then? If you're not playing with anybody else, there's nothing to compare. Range boom. That's not really what I'm looking for. And Draenara, of course, stinks. Stinky, stinky. Alright, well there's floor 62. 2 defense rates, nice rage. No, I don't upgrade anything, Endercount. I've been upgrading 1 relic, but I don't upgrade anything else. Exclamation PDT, exclamation WM there, Kurt. Right now I'm not using optimal stuff because I'm doing ancient power resets, so I use nothing but junk. Junk, junk, junk. Because I don't want to spend all my gold every time I do an AP reset. Well, I got lots of loot off that Game Ogre lane at least. See if anything is usable at all. That's a keeper. I probably won't use it, but it is a keeper. I can sell it, maybe. I'm getting a whole lot of 9 out of 10 mods collected up now. That's my first green colored mod of the day, though. Not a very good one, but first one of the day. Alright, what do we got? Stabby Kamikazes, 1 Skyguard will handle that. Actually, I don't even need a Skyguard there because they'll just dive bomb those weapon manufacturers, but I'll leave it there anyway. Geo Womp Zerks. Let's try to get them CC'd up down here. And then anything that makes it past. And then a PDT right on top of the CC. What do we got? Stabby Kamikazes, Geohex Zerks. Geohex Zerker Throwers. Yeah, I can't wait for the Onslaught update too. I can tell you, I mean, I don't know. This is obviously a complete guess. But here's my guess on what's holding it up. Is by changing Onslaught, they have to change Ancient Power as well. You can't make it one map floors and then not have a change to how you do Ancient Power resets. So I would bet that they're getting the Ancient Power dialed in, is what the holdup is, would be my guess. Let's see, Game Ogre over here. What's that leave me? Oh, perfect. 240 left. And does double stack right here. And we're good game. Out farming up that destruction. Well, good luck to you there, Brent. Doug, what's up? I gotta look through mine and see. I think my next biggest weakness is, or not weakness, but what I want to get next as far as shards go, is probably more defense rates, but I'm not positive on that. I'll have to look through and see what I've got. I do have quite a few gilded defense rate shards now. Defense and unique. Man, that's another one. That would be good for obelisk, actually. Maybe I'll throw that bad boy on obelisk for the rest of the climb here. I mean, that will definitely work for an obelisk. I think I'm going to do that. In fact, I think I'm going to do that right now. Let's see, where you at, Mystic? Let's get a Mystic squared away here. Let's throw this on the obelisk. Well, I could just use... I'll use Defender Metals. This one's cheap. And then this one, I actually have a Gilded Destruction 4. I just gilded it yesterday. Where did I put it? I think it was on the Earth Shatters. Yep. There we go. Ooh, there was a defense rate too. Well, on the obelisk, you actually don't need a gilded defense rate. But let's get that destruction on there. Get some ascension put in here. Don't need, that's actually it. That will work. Yay! I got another defense to use. I'm so excited. This grind, like I said, this particular Ancient Power reset, I just didn't have crap to use. You know, I've got my three defenses, and that's it. There we go. Now I feel so powerful. All right, Edward, take it easy. Have a good rest of your weekend. Go until you're not having fun, Matthias. You should base it all off of your enjoyment, though. If you're getting burnt out on Onslaught, then that would be a good sign to change it up. If you're still happy pushing Onslaught, well, the higher you go in floors, the better off you're going to be. So, really up to you. You've already made a pretty decent push. You know, you've got all the flares unlocked, which is, you know, the final form flares are awesome looking. Gregory? Oh, I snoozed. I got the boogies slowed me down. I don't want to waste my nuke. Oh, now's a great chance for it, though. Oh, and I had to use it on a little one. That's terrible. I just got an obelisk buff. I currently don't have a volcano set up, David, but I would use all of the unique stuff. So unique crit damage, unique crit chance, and unique defense power. I would push for a little further personally, Matthias. The closer you get to 250 minimum ascension, the better off you're going to be, basically. I mean, the sweet spot would be 270. 270 will allow you to max crit chance, crit damage, and your range gambit on a defense. So that would be like the sweet spot to get to. But if you get to floor, or if you get to a minimum ascension like 245, or not even that high, maybe 235, then you're not going to have to grind any ascension once you get back to 65, you know. So, I mean, it's completely up to you. It depends on how long term you're thinking, too. I mean, if you're thinking all the way down the road and getting to the 999 caps, then I would say go to floor 200. At least. Because it's such a massive benefit getting the bigger caps for free every ascension reset, basically. Come on, ogres. Give me some more loot. Yeah, it gets boring. Uh-oh. Ogre's pushing. I'm in trouble. Res fasta. Ogre screwed me. Here's one. Can I get the Yeti? Nice. Got lucky. PDT for the win. Thank you there, little poison dart tower. Keeping them all occupado. Better get a little more love over here. That was a little sketchy. None of the shards moved, so if that's where it used to be, then that's where it is, Pone. Let's see, I can look real quick. I got it right here. Yep, still Chaos 4. Thank you very much for subscribing. I do appreciate it a ton. Alright, what do we got this time? A Malthius and a Thork. You'd have to do the math. It depends on where your ascension level is and your floor. I mean, if it's your first time resetting and you were at, say, floor 1, just say floor 165 to make the math easier, you'd be getting 300 just for the floors. Oh man, the snot got me again. The ogre bugs got me. Malthius is spawn protected. Let me run and hide real quick. There we go. Get out of there. Let's see, what else? Got this maxed, yeah. This lane hasn't given me any problems, but better take a look at it for wave 5 real quick here. Looks like everything's dying up top, no problem. Sweet. It's a hero power monk. A hero damage monk. Hero damage and hero power are the same thing. Or are you talking ability power or hero damage? It's hero damage. Ability power monks are not my favorite. It's viable. Chi Blast is a good thing, you know. But they're definitely not at the top of my list. I like doing the big numbers. And of course all it's going to drop is Mystic Weapons now that I put a Mystic in my deck. WTF. Come on, little lady orcs. Nice, there you go there, Pen. It's a good... Earth Toss is a really good shard. If you like Earth Shatters. It's definitely good stuff. If you're into the shadows. Swap damage, that's a good monk swap chest. I will keep that bad boy for sure. Come on, mods. I want to have a good mod day. Like I said, yesterday was a good one. I had really good luck with mods yesterday. Let's see. Nothing I need there. I know there's that one mod for sure that's a keeper. There it is. Definitely keep that around. Nothing else, huh? I was hoping there was something yummy hiding in there, but it doesn't appear. Not so far, anyway. That I need to keep for my resets. Serious J, what up? Alright, what do we got? Let's see, we got EMPs, EMP stabbies, and an air raid. The air raid kind of makes me want to go. You know what? Let's do this. Let's put an obelisk right here. And then put a Skyguard like right there. And hopefully that will handle it. Thank you very much for subscribing there, bestie. I do appreciate it a ton. Yeah, you definitely want to keep your low-level crafting materials. I mean, at the worst case, sell them. Because they do sell really fast. Alright, we got Frosty Zerker fodder down here. Kind of worried about this low lane now. Gonna have to watch it. See, Sidefrost Vanguard throwers. Let's do that. What do we got there? Hexfrost throwers and Psy Hex throwers. Alright, this could potentially be ugly. Definitely could be ugly. Go with a Weapon Man there. One there and one there. What's that leave me? 40. Youch. Doesn't leave me much room over here. I usually like to have enough to put a Weapon Man right here as well, but what to do? Tell you what, let's just throw another PDT right here. I'm gonna have to pay attention this map, and paying attention, as you all know, is not my specialty. I'm gonna have to watch this lane and this lane at the same time, which is unfortunate. But it's doable. They're at least next to each other. I can just sit here and spray into both of them. As PDTs are putting some work in. A few upgrades will make it, but I'm just worried this lane is going to end up getting overrun in like wave 4 or 5, so I'm going to have to watch that for sure. They do come out in spurts on this map, though. So, like right now, I don't have to... Well, now they're starting to come down below again, but for the most part, you can clear one area, then clear the other area, and go back and forth, which makes it a little easier. Oh, there's massive changes there, Bestie. Massive changes. If you haven't played in a year, it's an entirely different game. I mean, obviously same same game, but they have seriously had mechanical changes over the last year. There we go. That actually went really smooth. It went much smoother than I expected. Let's see how the... Let's see how everything's going to stack up here. Definitely need some ups down here. How many Frost Orcs? 18 this time. That's not that terrible. You're not really starting all over, Basti. Depending on when you left... were you a Nightmare 4 player, or were you in the trials when you quit? If you were a Nightmare 4 player, then you're going to want to start off in Chaos 3 Expeditions. But another thing you'll note now is that it's definitely all about the shards. Having the correct shards is the base of every good build. It doesn't matter how good your mods are if you don't have the right shards. So just focus on the shards. You'll be back up at endgame in no time. I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't start over and lose your progress, Basti. I would just bite the bullet. It'll take you a couple hours, maybe even to go through and clear all the stuff out. But I personally wouldn't start over. But then again, I've started over so many times that I won't start over again. You know, I've had many restarts. Where's old Gribbs coming from? He's hitting the weapon mans now, so Gribbs gonna get handled? Looks like he's gonna make it through. There we go. Give him a little help. Well, I'm getting closer and closer to that point there, Mercfast. I'm never going to grind on the PS4, but as far as just playing on the PS4 for fun, I'm getting closer and closer to that point. Once I get to the Ascension caps and the Ancient Power caps on the PC, then I'm not going to have anything else to grind. It's just going to be a matter of straight playing the game and having fun. So at that point, I wouldn't mind switching over to another platform to, you know, once a week or whatever to play around. Oh yeah, if you stopped a week after they added Betsy, then you've got lots of stuff to learn there, Eddie. There's been 5 or 6 major game mechanic overhauls since then, since Betsy was added. Next week, we got good stuff, though. I mean, the increased loot. Well, yeah. That's the thing, Basti. You always gotta... You know, if you don't have time to game, you don't have time to game. That's just how it is. We all know DD2 is a grind game. You know, if you really want to push to end game, it takes a long time. You know, you got to grind it out. Tell you what, I am going to be playing some other stuff too, though, because I've grinded DD2 so heavy the last several weeks. I got to take a break and play something else for a little while. I mean, I'm still going to be playing DD2 every day, but I'm not going to be playing it 16 hours a day like I am right now. Yeah, pretty much, Kenji. Like Ashley said, it's all heroes are viable for DPS. There's not really a best. Whatever hero you want to play, if you get all the correct shards and correct mods, it's going to be beast mode. Alright, what do we got? 12 of them. It actually got easier. Well, I got a lucky break on this lane then. Yeah, ever since that, if you remember the wipe again there, Eddie, that's been the last character wipe. That's been, what, 3 years? 2 or 3 years since that? So they haven't they didn't do any more beta or early access wipes since then. That's another thing for returning players. If you've been gone a really, really long time, there's gems and defender medals available from that initial quest line and campaign. So it's worth it to go through and redo it. You end up getting 650 gems off doing, or 600 gems, pardon me. You get 600 gems from doing campaign and adventure mode for the first time. So, I mean, that gives you some gems for a skin or whatever, which is kind of nice. But that's a good sign. If you already had a monk and it made you unlock a monk, that means that since you played the initial quest line has been redone, so you've got free rewards waiting for you if you just went through and just played them. And if you've got any of your old gear still from back in the day, you can probably blaze right through it with no problems, really, really fast. Let's see, 400 left. How the 20 frost orcs. Alright. So I'm definitely going to have to watch down here. That obelisk is really, really helps. You know, not having any of my gear upgraded or anything, like my monk's right click is only doing probably right around 1,000,000 DPS if I'm lucky. But getting that obelisk buff on there really helps. I can still do the big shots with melee, but melee, of course, is not necessarily ideal for Onslaught. Man, I shouldn't have used my pet there. I used my pet right as a roller spawns. Yep, the barbarian's back, indeed. As beast mode as ever. One of the main changes you'll see in the game, though, is there's now hard counters. Once you get back into the expeditions and climb in the chaos tiers, every chaos tier introduces a new hard counter that you have to pay attention to. You have to either have mods or use the proper defense to counter it, or you'll end up having some problems. Well, I'm not changing game. I'm still going to be playing DD2. I just want to add something else into the mix. You know, get rid of some of the... I mean, you guys have seen. You guys that... You know, take a look at my Steam profile. I've logged more hours in DD2 over the last month than I have done any other thing in my entire life. You know, than I've done anything else. I played more DD2 than I have slept. I've actually played twice as much DD2 than I have slept. At least. Maybe even more. You mean the weapons that you pull from the weapon manufacturers? They used to be hero damage based, but I'm not sure right now. You'd have to check them. I would imagine they're probably still hero damage. They're not very good. They're kind of novelties. They're fun to mess around with. But they're not super good. Oh wow, back to the temple already. I didn't even realize. Back to the temple. But yeah, if you look at my DD2 profile, I'm sure over the last 2 weeks I'm over 200 hours, and that's been straight Ancient Power grinding. The only time I've done anything else is when I've done the public matches on stream. All I've done is grind out Ancient Power, but I'm so close now. I've got 6 more AP resets and I'm completely done. I never have to do it again. Unless they change it and make it worth doing again. Yeah, the wife wishes I'd sleep a little bit more. She's tired of hearing me complain about not getting any sleep and then not getting any sleep. But she doesn't sleep very much either, so she's got no room to talk. That's right, woman. I'm talking to you. She says I get too grumpy when I don't sleep enough. Go slower, read the mutators, and do what it's telling you to do. Here, we'll do an example. Alright, we got Geode Womp Zerkers. So, looking at the mobs, it's telling me don't use projectile towers unless I have something to counter it. So, I'm using projectile towers, these PDTs. However, I've got something to counter it in that Piercer Servo. And then Longshot. The further a source of damage is away from an enemy, the more damage it deals. Which means on this lane, these Poison Dart Towers are going to wreck it, because they are my farthest defense away from the enemy. In fact, they're almost at max. A little bit further back and they'd be at complete maximum range. Over here, we got Bullet Sponge. Enemies have a small anti-projectile shield. Then it's got the little shieldies at the bottom, plus a geode. So, once again, got to have something to account for the Bullet Sponge and the geode and the shields, and I got Piercer Servo on those. Now, on that same note, any non-projectile defense or attack is going to remove Bullet Sponge. Well, I got weapon manufacturers right here to instantly clean the Bullet Sponge off of them. Then we move over here, and we got Lava Zerker Wompers. So, got no real challenge here except Vampiric. So basically, I want the enemies to die before they're going to get to the point where they're hitting anything. Because any enemy here that does damage is going to get healed. And it's a big heal. It's not a little baby heal. So I'm going to go a little overboard on the Poison Dart Towers. Try to get a little additional damage in right there. And get these guys burned down before they can get up here to a point where they can hit anything and do damage. Alright, now we look right here. We got Psy-Hex Throwers. So we got Cyborgs, which means you don't want to use ground traps, auras, or nodes unless you have a counter for it. Tenacity is the counter for Cyborgs. Duration of negative stun effects decreased, so I'm using Tenacity. Then we got Controlled Burn. Enemies can only be damaged while drenched, oiled, frozen, poisoned, or stunned. So I'm going to poison the enemies up with Poison Dart Towers, and then I'm going to stun them with Weapon Mans, and now I've got 2 different things countering the Controlled Burn on that lane. Alright, take a look over here. Stabby Zappers. We got Proximity, which, unfortunately, Proximity on flyer lanes, poison from different players PDTs does stack critical, but not your own. I don't have these set up for poison damage, though. These are set up for the dart damage, so I'm relying on the dart damage. I mean, they are set up for poison damage, but the poison damage is not doing the bulk of the damage here. Or actually, it is, but the dart damage is doing a significant amount, so that's why I'm stacking them. The only time, if you just straight up want to use explosive poison, then there's no reason to stack. Right now, I'm not using explosive poison, though. So anyway, proximity, if I had an aura set up, I could put proximity up there, but I don't. So I'm just going to, since I've got a lane down below, I'm going to have the Skyguard hitting the flyers, and I'm going to have these poison dart towers hitting the flyers too. And that should be enough to wreck them all, especially considering they're zappers and they move so slow. Alright, here we got Geohex Zerker Throwers with Pain Aura. Pain Aura doesn't matter unless you plan on getting up there and meleeing, so you don't even need to worry about that. And we've got the same counters. We got massive ranged mobs with the Hex Throwers and Javelin Throwers. However, they're going to have to get way down here before they're going to be in range of that core. So I just need to kill them before they get to this point. And there's really nothing else to worry about on this lane. Alright, now here we got EMP Stabby Zappers. So, I'm going to throw a Skyguard back here, and that will also double dip if any of those Zappers make it past that Skyguard. And then to soak up the EMP Blast, I'm going to drop an Obelisk right there. Obelisks have very good health scaling. You see it's got 1.87 million health. So it will be able to absorb that EMP shot without a problem. So I'm going to put that there just to be a decoy, basically. And it will still do the smite, and it will still give me a buff. So it's a win-win. This would have actually been a better lane to use the Obelisk. But since I don't have another Mystic set up, I'm just going to throw 2 Skyguards right there and forget about it. Alright, do we have down below? No. Nope. Oh, fail jump. Alright, here we got Geohex Throwers. So once again, we got Geodes, so we've got that Piercer Servo. But then we've got Spellbreaker, reduced magic damage, increased physical damage. The problem I've got right now is I don't have a single physical damage defense set up. So what I'm going to have to do is go overboard with everything else. So I'm going to throw 3 Poison Dart Towers on that lane. And pray. Now, this is going to be my weakest lane from what I've seen so far, since I straight up just don't have physical damage. The best thing to do in this lane, of course, is to throw physical damage. So, if I had these Weapon Mans down here for some CC, one of the best additions I could add back here would be Cannonballs, as their direct physical damage, and they would wreck it up. However, I'm in the middle of Ancient Power resets. I don't want to spend the gold, and I don't want to spend the crafting materials, so I don't have any Cannonballs set up, as I would have to re-upgrade that item. But that right there, what I just did, will get you up to floor 200. And it's all about taking your time, looking at the mobs that are coming, looking at the mutators, and building for that. I've done a lot of public games this last week, they're the Joker, but I'll be doing all public games pretty much after the change. For those that don't know, next week is big in the world of multiplayer DD2. And that is, we're finally going to get rewarded. Right now, we actually get penalized. We have increased mob difficulty with no increased reward for playing multiplayer. So with that in mind, it's not very encouraging to play multiplayer. You know, you can do the maps easier solo than you can in a group. Now, Onslaught, you could argue that second player would be the best, because having me over here and another person over there to watch that side is a huge benefit. However, as far as just general grinding, solo play is easier. Now, next week that's going away. Every additional person that gets added to the group is going to add additional loot from the loot box, from the victory chest at the end, which we don't know to how much that is, but according to what Lalta's been saying, in a 4-player group, it's a lot of loot. So I'm very anxious to see what pops out. In fact, I am going to do a few before and after, little before and after comparison of what pops. I'm looking forward to it. But the main thing is I'm looking forward to people doing matchmaking again, playing in groups again. I will always put the name Juice in the title, and I always, for the most part, I always play on US West. So keep an eye out for any of my games, because I'll be doing all public games after that update hits. Alright, now here we got Sigard throwers with maximum effort. Now the smartest thing to do here would be to really take advantage of this maximum effort. Enemies have more health but get weaker with each unique source of damage that hits them, which means the more sources of damage, the better off you are. Now currently I've got 4 defenses set up, basically. So Sigard throwers, I'm just going to kind of power through them, just like I've been doing the other lanes. I've got the Piercer on my PDTs to counter the shield goblins, and then I've got Tenacity on the weapon mans to counter the cyborgs. So I'm just going to go like that, and like that, and call it good. Now I do want to throw a couple of upgrades in over here. Get another one on this obelisk too. The obelisk is important to note. Look at the, you know, it is doing damage the entire time. So it's going to be either smiting enemies or buffing you every second during the entire combat phase. So the obelisk is a very, very strong addition to any build. Temple nightmares in your sleep there, Alice. I'm not wondering how they're going to fit that in. Is Temple going to be just a random map you get every now and then? Or will it be like a milestone map every 5 floors or whatever? Or I'm wondering what they're going to do with Temple when they switch to the 1-map floors. Alright, this lane looks like it's holding its own. So I'm going to get back over here where I've already established this is my weakest lane. And it's actually looks like it's wrecking it too. Upgrades for the win. Let's just watch it without DPSing for a sec. There we go. It's tearing it up. I think I can ignore this lane now. Slickelion. Let's get on Slickelion. That way I don't have to worry about him pushing out too far. Yep. Looks like he got handled anyway. Poor little Slickelion got beat down. Got Slickelion over here now. I know there's going to be a Slickelion spawn in each wave. So I want to make sure that I put some of my upgrades into this wave. Now remember, this is minimal builds. In my opinion, the more heroes you have to use, the more fun you're going to have in the game. But this is like straight up AP grind builds. So it's, you know, it's not the most creative and it's not the most fun, but it is very fast and efficient. So if you're just grinding AP and you're not worried about anything else, then this is a good setup. You know, as everybody knows, the Dryad is pretty meta right now. Just going bees and slimes is another good setup that will counter everything. Let's see. Yeah, definitely All-Stars. See, we got Zerker Throwers. So this is pretty much an easy lane. Enemies explode when killed. That should be a non-issue because the enemies are going to die before they get down here to tear up my PDTs. So I'm just going to spawn camp that lane. I'm going to throw one set of upgrades here and then just Since I feel pretty good about where I'm at right now, I'm just going to set one upgrade. One upgrade on every defense. Yeah, Ancient Power is... AP is Ancient Power. That's what it can be confusing because there's two different APs. There's Ability Power and there's Ancient Power. But if I'm ever referring to stats, I'm talking about Ability Power. And then just referring to the game itself, I'm talking about Ancient Power. But, sorry to confuse. Let's see, this lane is not a difficult lane and there's only 29 mobs. I said quit sweating that one. Another important aspect is every wave, make sure you're looking for your boss. Because some bosses can ruin your entire build. So pay attention to what bosses are coming. I actually get pretty much a free boss with Skarnash, so I'm not going to worry about it. I know Slickelion is here, so I'm going to come put the beat down on him. There we go, Slickelion dealt with. And then now it's just a matter of waiting for Skarnash and watching the mini-map. As the lanes should handle themselves right now. And then I can just assist anywhere that's getting a little bit more of a push. Or just anywhere with a heavy group of mobs. Looks like that obelisk might need an upgrade or a repair. Let's go hit that up real quick. Can't upgrade it, but I can repair it. So the obelisk is doing its job. It's soaking up those EMP dive bombs, which is good. Here comes Skarnash. So let's just deal with Skarnash right here and these weapon manufacturers. Come on out, Skarnash. Come say hi to me. Preferably while I got that mystic buff on me. There we go. Skarnash dead. That was the pet ability, by the way, if you're wondering how Skarnash evaporated so quick. Yeah, it's very similar. Ancient Power is very similar to Paragon levels in Diablo. It's the same basic process. It's a prestige system, so to speak. So definitely very, very similar to Paragon. Alright. What do we got? Down below here, Psy-Hex Whompers with Wall Leech. Now I'm not going to use any walls, so I can completely ignore Wall Leech. And then of course we got the Psy-Hex Wurms. So I've got Hex Throwers I'm not going to worry about, because they're going to go to this core, so they're not going to be able to throw at that core until they get to about here, and they will be long dead by then. And then I got Cyborgs, which the PDTs don't have to worry about. And the weapon manufacturers have tenacity on them. So you still have to pay attention, but depending on your quality of your tenacity mod, I've got obviously a good tenacity mod, so I can completely ignore them. But I do want to throw some upgrades in over here, just because it is a new lane. And I know that these other lanes are already holding. So although I still do want to get some upgrades thrown around, I know what lanes are currently holding with the defenses they have already. So I try to always put the ups into the newest lane. Alright, Bestie, thanks for swinging by. Have a great night. You can use any of the nuke abilities there. Critical damage. This is Betsy, so it's got the Betsy ability. But basically any hero damage pet. The best one, in my opinion, is Gatto Fireworks. That'll roll on any Gatto pet. I use Betsy because she looks cool. That's 100% the only reason. It's not the best one to use in a Nuke Monk setup. Table Flipper actually gives you slightly more damage than Gatto Fireworks does. It's like 5% of your hero damage, more damage. but Table Flipper travels through the air very, very slow. The projectile does. And that's why I prefer Gatto Fireworks. Gatto Fireworks shoots. It's like almost instant to the mob. Quick stop off for Skarnash. Grib's got handled. Now where do I want to deal with Skarnash? Let's deal with Skarnash right here. I got PDTs and a Weapon Man. There we go. Skarnash is handled. What's going on, Blueberry? Yeah, you could look at the level of the mob there, Doug. Anti-Chaos and Hardened. Yeah. I was hoping that was going to be a better relic. I could throw it in for the final floors. I didn't look at the mob level, but when when you're in range of a mob and the mob's HP bar pops up, it does show their level. So as the level goes up, their HP and the damage amount that they do goes up as well. They will always dodge the Jester questions, David. I really, really want to see the Jester. Alright, we got Hex Swampers and Rage, so basically I got nothing to worry about. The only thing I do have is Enrage, so enemies start weaker, but get stronger the longer they stay alive. So a lane like this, you would not want to like build way down here. You want the enemies to die right away, and not get stronger, you know, so the sooner they die, the better off you are. Well, as far as farming C7, pretty much you can use anything, Clearberry. I mean, just Flame Aura spam and you AFK C7. Well, use the same relic on every piece, Bruno. Use a medallion on every piece. The Jester, if the Jester comes, and I do hope the Jester does come, but if the Jester comes, it will not be the next hero. There's no doubt in my mind. The next hero, in my opinion, I think will either... Oh! Fail jump. In my opinion, the next hero will either be one of the additional gender swaps, or it will be the Mana Machine. See if I can do this right this time. Just want to make sure this is... Oh, that was actually already full. Alright, ran over here for nothing. So let's see, wave 5, so I got bosses. I'm going to have a Thork over here. And then I'm going to have some kind of Skelly boss over there. And then I've got Slickelion right at the beginning of the wave. So let's just start over here and be prepared for Slickelion. What's going on there, Foo? How you doing? Let's get Slickelion wrecked. Oh, I missed. I missed with the last hit shot. But Slickelion down. Take a look at our trouble lanes. It actually looks like that was no trouble at all. Especially now that these PDTs are all maxed. Over here we're doing pretty good as well. Everything's dying. Oh, I've reset on stream many, many times, Pixie. I'm not going to reset on stream today. Sundays are kind of my easy day. I don't do a super long stream. It's my wife's day off, so I like to chillax with the wife. Usually watch a movie and kick back and relax or something, you know. That, and I'd have to get, I'm trading gear when I reset, so I have to have somebody prepared to trade gear with me. And I haven't done that today yet. Oh, I'm jumping around too much. Get back over here for assassin killing. Alright, 5 mobs left. There's another assassin. And there we go, good game. I'm excited with the gender swaps. I'm excited to see what they do with the Ranger and the Countess. I really hope there's some different wall options with the Countess, like the Bouncer Blockade from DD1. And then the Ranger, I would really love to see the gas trap from DD1. Oh my gosh, that would make me so happy. That would be so awesome. But anyway, there we go. That was floor 63 and pretty much a complete walkthrough. So, I mean, as you see, all Onslaught is, Lightrayne always refers to it as rock, paper, scissors. So that right there gives me Ramsters for the last 2 floors of the push. So I'm stoked about that. I get another defense out of the deal with that bad boy. But anyway, Lightrayne refers to it as rock, paper, scissors. So if you look to this lane and you see you got scissors, then make sure you're building rocks. If you look over on this lane and you see you got paper, then make sure you're building scissors. And that is pretty much Onslaught in a nutshell. As long as you do that, it's good game. However, though, everybody, that is going to do it for today. A little shorty. But thank you all a ton for swinging by. Make sure everybody has a great rest of your weekend. Not much of Sunday left for me, but there's still a little bit in there, so I'm gonna kick back a little, watch a movie or something probably. Not really sure. Yeah, 3-bar shocking revelations is just really OP there, Fuchuan. So a 3-bar is just as good. I mean, it's not as good, of course. The higher you go, the better off you are. But a 3-bar shocking revelations will clear all the content. It's more about the tenacity than it is the shocking revelations. If you, you know, with a decent tenacity mod and any shocking revelation mod, weapon manufacturers are really completely overpowered. But anyway, everybody, thanks a ton for swinging by. I really appreciate it. I'm going to clip that little, that Onslaught run out of the deal and put it as a separate little Onslaught walkthrough. So, thanks for encouraging me to do that instead of just blasting through it. But thanks a ton, everybody. Everyone have a fantastic weekend, and tomorrow is my day off. So I will be back live at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, right here on YouTube. So thanks a ton, and see you all soon. Take it easy.